Said you hadn't seen me since CC5. Hi. Sadly, Winghaven used to be in fnatic's team, but he actually got dropped. Oh no, tell a lie. Winghaven is still here, so I'm always surprised to see him still in the team. But we'll be jumping into game. It will be fnatic up against eSuba, two very well-known team names to say the very least. And this is obviously the round of 16 here, so these two teams making their way through. eSuba had to fight through the first round. fnatic had an automatic bye, and we'll be going live into this one any second now. As you can see the countdown on your screen. Sorry to keep you guys waiting. Obviously, I was just waiting on the final player from eSuba to join us. fnatic will be starting on the US side. The Russian side will be eSuba. And this is one of the more favoured maps, I feel, to fnatic's playstyle. So there is a couple of mixes in there. Drunks taking the place of Too Easy, I believe. Then let's actually, I want us to pick up and see how this new member does actually, because we know Drunks is a bit of a monster anyway. He's already down, so not the ideal start, but let's not waste any more time. B and C look to be going fnatic's way. They've got their start they love doing. Going for that split. Let's see if they can hold on here. They've sneaky little bit of play from Mort. They're just peering up at the best of times, clipping Lords in the heels. And we are seeing Value finally going down to Spirit. But C still being a bit of a stronghold for fnatic. More going around the rotate, and that's the one thing you can never underestimate with fnatic is their rotates round the back. They will always pick up these kills. Reflex does go down, and that BC hold just made even stronger. And look at Valu being the one-man band, just holding these guys back. He may eventually go down, but he's bought enough time for the likes of Winghaven to come round the side, pick up Lady. And I think he missed that play there. I think he knew he was there, but went for the cap instead. And actually, this could be a trip cap coming straight out of the gates. And I think we can always expect this sort of level of play coming in from fnatic on a map like this. This has always been their strength play. And even though this trip cap will be lost momentarily, they've held on for a good long bit of time, allowing Unflix to get aggressive enough to pick up the kill onto Lords on the rotate back towards B. And fnatic have this map down to a T. I've seen very few teams undo their playstyle here. This is their strength. This is their map they can do certain near-on damage to. If they lose it, it's generally a surprise bit of play. But a bit of a disappointing result, I'd say, through the finals coming into this. So they are certainly out for blood this time. And let's see how they do from the very offset. Obviously, this is the first cup. This is the first time we've been seeing them. And a lot of people want me to follow another game. But for me, fnatic were a team who should have done well. Excuse me one sec. Sorry, my headset was messing me around there. But they're a team that should have done a lot better than they did. They didn't do as well as they should have done at the finals. They dropped out quite early on for them. And they made changes. And I'm curious to see how that one now goes. Obviously, still very much the core lineup. Still like some Value holding onto that B site. But that's why I wanted to watch this game, because you know, you make these changes, you get that honeymoon period where everything works, everything fits together perfectly, and then it kind of goes to that grind again. But let's see how they're doing. Obviously, be picking up a nice 2-1 hold for now, at least. Checking in with that map. We've got a nice little split coming across Mort, and Unfix will have to hold on. Actually, Unfix is in trouble. He's going to have to drop out a bit of a detonate there. He does pick up Reflex. That was a stunning bit of play. Just about staying alive, but finally gets picked up by Spirit, who's broken through and made B look vulnerable. I'm surprised Value's taken this long to start eyeing up that C bomb site, but immediately the reaction coming in from eSuba is near on perfect. Straight away hitting up that A site, take down the defender, and now trying to convert this one across. Value and Winghaven both being found means that the only player really anywhere near is Drunks, the newer addition to the fnatic lineup, and he's starting out to be proving himself through these cups. And at the moment, that triple cap against them is not what they wanted to see, but oh, he misses such a vital shot there. That is going to really give away the position in this one. They should be able to pick up A, but he's certainly not held on to that rotate around the side. Spirit now being a big factor is going to make his way in. Interesting gun choice as well. I'm not going to switch out to him just yet. He does go down. He is running with the AEK, which is a curious choice. A couple of people will be picking that one up in comparison to other guns. Most obviously going with the Ace, but he's going with the AEK 971. Literally, that gun can just shred people close range, but you get to any sort of medium to long and you're struggling. But at the moment, we will be seeing a 2-1 hold coming back into the hands of fnatic. B won't be challenged, and C should at least get capped over here. But straight away, Ebol will be going around outside. Unfixed holding the rotates through mid, and this is a setup that I like. I like seeing them creating these crossfires, creating a smart play. We do finally see one of the players going down. That was Unfixed being picked up there, but he's allowed enough of a route for the likes of Mort to come through towards A. They have negated C. We've seen the back a bit of an exchange, and actually Value coming in on the reach. Oh lord, Value is. I'm just gonna watch that for a second right there. That's just farewell, Value. Sorry guys, there's moments that I can't help but watch. Anyway, let's get back to the game because Unfixed is going to try and do some work here, holding on to that B site. Obviously, a little bit of an upset then came in the form of Valu just kind of chilling out and going for a bit of a slide. But what can you do? That is just stunning. Anyway, BC hold coming in for eSuba. They can lock this one down for a little while. BNC, maybe not the ideal sites to have, I'd say. I don't know. I don't think it's the best setup. What do you guys think? Do you still think the AC hold is more preferential, or has things changed? Anyway, let's stick on board with Reflex here. The tickets are still very close, considering this is, you know, maybe one of the stronger matches for Fnatic, I'd say. We are seeing a little bit of trouble here, and actually, Valu will go down eventually. Reflex does get the revive, going to go in towards 8. It's going to be met with a bit of resistance. Finally, Mort does stop the rot, but the damage has certainly been done, and Fnatic have been left to pretty much defend for the last couple of seconds. And let's see if they can do any more. Drunk's great spot, though. Drunk's going in for a bit of a sneaky maneuver as he's making his way towards through. He's coming in. Not actually spotting anyone out, and that's fairly surprising. And look, eSuba are playing quite passively. They're not playing that in their face games. Fairly far back, creating their own crossfires, slightly unorthodox towards what we normally see. Maybe the precedent being set by Fnatic has been broken. 69-77 at the moment. It's eSuba in the lead, so certainly something to be looking forward to. And obviously there are a lot of restrictions within this. It's mostly to create the most competitive style gameplay possible. It may not be true to the core of Battlefield essentially at times, but you know, that's pretty much how it goes. So enough trolling now, people. We have not banned 360 no-scopes. It's just most people are not MLG enough to pull them off. And back into the game, we are seeing that 2-to-1 hold. A and B, actually, curious, coming in for the opponents of eSuba, whereas Fnatic looking to get in back towards A. The first couple of footsteps towards the site coming through. Mort is edging in, going to make his way straight towards that back alley. He knows there's players here. There's going to be one, there's two. Oh, he gets denied the triple. He does get a nice little double, however. Has brought enough time for Fnatic to pick up the A site, leaving just B in the hands of the opponents. Drunkstown does get the reviving, gets the follow-up, at least tag then, and looks to kind of make his way back towards B site. And Fnatic look a lot quicker. They look a lot faster off the offset. They don't look as stale as you could argue they used to be. They look a little bit more engulfing towards this map, and they've certainly evened up the scoreboard, and straight away Drunks tries to get involved, gets shut down though, and now we are seeing Winghaven, the only man who could really do much damage to this B side. If there's a couple of respawns going in, he could cause trouble, but at the moment, they've only just started losing out on C, so he only just made his move there. Valu is looking to try and secure this C side Q back in their hands. Oh, he just caught him in the heels. Didn't get enough damage to take him down, but goes back in seconds. That's Spirit there, who does get the exchange. That site will remain into Fnatic's hands. That is a big exchange going down. Mort trying to lock down the cross. He knows he's going to be in trouble, but that nade will hold back the opponents. Beautiful play, but did anyone slip through? No, he's done the work. Very well done there. And actually, that's given enough for a bit of a ticket lead to start edging into Fnatic's favor. So, let's see who's coming through. Unfix playing it nicely, puts himself in a bit of a push forward position, being able to pick up a double with Winghaven in tow, taking down Lords. That AC hold staying in favor. This is Fnatic's more stronghold, I feel. This is their chance to really get into this one. Now we are seeing the slow but methodically dangerous push from Unfix forming through mid. Valu pushing across towards that B site. He's going to pick up another. Spirit goes down. And now maybe this is them warming up. Maybe it took a little bit of time. Maybe there's a little bit of life left within the eSuba side. But right now it's shooting fish in the barrel. Bladdy does go down. Or Blady, should I say. But a couple more players on the cross. A seems to decide to be just going to go for the hit. But you can see these crossfires set up so nicely here. And already Valu just causing trouble. That's all he's doing. He's not even going to go for that B cap. He's just there to cause a bit of a pest, to buy more time for the likes of Unfixed to get into position, take down one, goes to the second, gets denied that, but there were 3 players there. And at the moment, 47 tickets remain in their favor. That's a solid start for these guys. 3 now remaining for the opponents. I can imagine eSuba won't be walking away too upset with that. That's a good start, to be fair. And there we have it, 47 ticket advantage to Fnatic in this one, but it's not huge. Let's bear that in mind. That's not a massive amount. That's certainly workable. And let's bear in mind, if there wasn't, you know, we saw a couple of trip caps being hit upon there, and look at these scores. My word, 24-9, 28-8. That's a big bit of play there. That's pretty damn huge. Coming out from Unfixed and Mort. maybe occasionally the unsung heroes of Fnatic from my side, at least. I do sometimes occasionally get caught up in my enemy territory days and just go on about Value and Winghaven. But at the moment, it's the newer guys to the team who've been really bringing the fire. And on the other side, no one underperforming, everyone doing their job, but no breakout players. And that's very different comparing styles going through eSuba. Very quick on the rotate, moving as a complete unit. Whereas Fnatic, happier split up, happier doing what they can. And Winghaven's a pretty experienced player. Like, Winghaven's been around esports longer than most in this team, maybe excluding Valutaja or Reload back in the day. I know his performance has been fairly lacking. I think he knows it as well, and it's strange to see him not stepping up. Yes, so you do need a meat shield. There's always that position needed. Someone needs to soak up those bullets, guys. Come on now. But I find it hard to say they need to replace him. But anyway, let's find out how they do on this half. For the US side, it will be eSuba, so let me switch that around on the scoreboard. Who needs a right shield when you've got Winghaven? Wow. That's painful, man. That's cold-hearted. I don't even know what to say to you guys anymore. You're cruel, cruel beings. But anyway, let's... oh, my camera work is sickening. I do apologize. I do try and get to this sort of point here, just so we can actually watch the initial cross and see where they go, actually. Normally when Fnatic start on this, so they split a couple round the back to control C, but at the moment we've seen a lot of players negating that. Maybe losing out on that Scar H has maybe made that not a viable option. But at the moment we are seeing what doing this. So straight away going for the exchange. 4 players split down here, 2 for the opponents going out towards C. A will be going into the hands of Fnatic quite comfortably. Obviously B going over to eSuba, but it's all about the other sides right now, and we're going for the Famous in the hands there of Drunks, and he's going to be picking up that B side fairly uncontested actually if he goes down here right now. The rest of the side of eSuba got pretty much squad wiped right there by the opponents, and well, they're in trouble now. So Drunks just buying time. This respawns are coming through, so his team will be able to pick this one up. He's bought enough time to take down Lords to secure the hold towards B, but have they overextended here? Let's find out, because Fnatic will be picking up C, they will be picking up B, and eSuba just being left out towards that A side. So we're going to see the counter push across mid. Ebel just backing away. Going to try and get set up here towards the infirmary. That 2-to-1 hold will be challenged out by C. Value going down will allow the likes of Reflex and Spirit to push through. They can get a solid kind of foothold in mid and actually get a good setup from this one, depending if they want to really do it. And playing very passively, actually, waiting on one respawn as well. And they're going to come in towards A, actually, interesting enough. So, didn't go for the mid hold, going to go for the more securing on the site. Let's see if they can pull anything off here. Very early days, however. Mort doing, once again, perfect work. But Ebel, watching the pushing, Blady does get a couple of shots through, but Winghaven not meat shielding this time. He gets the kill, but Ebel will find Unfix. Winghaven still standing. The rest of his teammates are going down, and this nade spam is keeping A in the hands of eSuba for now, and just this really good play, keeping them at bay, keeping them within that doorway. It is really helping these guys out, and I love the positioning coming in from these guys, but still, is it going to be enough? Let's have a look at the map so far. At the moment, Fnatic are struggling to break through mid. We see this final bit of play coming in, but Winghaven, being the meat shield he is, soaking up those bullets, does go down. Unfix now in a bit of enemy territory here. He does get himself 1 kill ace on towards Reflex. He's in a good spot to get some respawns towards him if he wants to, and I think that's exactly what's going to be coming in. Lord's quickly coming around the back, knows what's going on, but will he be able to control the 3? He gets 1, gets 2. Oh my word, he's going to go for the 3. Gets denied finally by Winghaven, whose meat shielding adventures finally kick into effect, and they might be able to convert this A site right now, because Drunks is going in pretty much he was contested finally. There's a couple of players in infirmary now, but he's going to try and position around it. Goes to the peak, gets a bit of an awful shot off them. Does get taken down, so Lords now should be able to secure this, and that's going to be a bit of a close game. Remembering, 47 is the ticket mark. And that's still quite large. That's a good bit of score to work with, and that's on eSuba's side. So if you see the US team drop below 47, they lose on the first map. That's that's not too hard to work out, but still, B site is going back and forwards for now. At the moment, it looks clearly in favor to eSuba, whereas Fnatic getting really cold spawns at the moment. They are way outside towards that C site, and Value now eyeing up this A section. He wants to get in towards this hospital and try and get in towards the infirmary. You can see those nades just trickling through. and just chipping away, constantly keeping him away from the sides. They could not make this strategic push in, and we do see Reflex picking him up. Unfix has split across towards that B side, knowing that they'd overcommit towards A, but the random respawn for Ebel could really catch him out. This means trouble now. Can he do anything with this? Ebel knows he's there. Oh, he didn't expect the positioning. That was a bit of a shame. Lords is going to go for that random respawn. A has been held on as well by eSuba, so eSuba are really holding on in this. That's all I can really say. They're challenging these guys every step of the way, and at the moment they'll be getting a bit of an A-B hold. C has stayed in the hands of fnatic, but Drunks has constantly been put out here. And interesting gun choice, running with the AEK there, but no iron sight, just iron sight, should I say. No attachments on that one, so maybe feeling more comfortable on that. I want to see how he does with this, actually. I don't get to see the AEK a lot, and I can tell you quite badly is how he's doing. So not doing too well so far with that. He's been fairly quiet, actually. Drunks used to be a big impact player. I mean, he used to be the one to pick up, you know, these kills that Mort generally gets, but at the moment, 1 to 5. Doing well. Winghaven at the top of the scoreboard. 108 to 92, very close game. And I'm not sure if that was a mistake coming in from Drunks to be running with that weapon without those iron sights, but maybe he's more comfortable, you know, just being vanilla with it. I'm going to stick on board with him for a little while. I want to see what's going on with him. They're going to be trying to help this C site, try and get this one back into their hands, because at the moment, no one's been really locking this one down like quite drastically. So, well, that was not pretty at all. Excuse me. And I meant the sights, not the attachments. Obviously, he does have the laser sight, but to what avail? Anyway, we're going to jump back in this game, and at the moment, fnatic are lost without an answer. They haven't been able to break back through towards C. Mort's been pretty much struggling around the back here. Not really doing the damage he wanted to with the M416. Interesting choice. Since that Scar H obviously has been removed, which I found out. Excuse me. Obviously, this is probably the more viable weapon choice at a bit of a medium to long range distance, but at the moment, really not being put into effect. Keeping players busy and allowing the rest of the fnatic to break through towards B, but not really doing the damage that he wanted. Value has snuck through, but going to be going for a bit of a further back spawn, maybe trying to get some respawns on him in a bit of a safer position, because currently fnatic are struggling for tickets. They're down to 63. So this is not looking the best debut so far for fnatic with their new lineup within the ESL One series, but maybe they can turn this one around. They're getting back towards B. We've got a good amount of players here, maybe a few too many players, and at the moment we are seeing Unfix actually hedging their bets by picking up C, so they should be getting at least a 2-to-1 hold, maybe a triple cap as well, so this could be a bit of a bonus here. B is going to be contested. We see the immediate response from Ebel. He knows that this is going to be a bit of a blade play. They have overcommitted. They left A completely open. Ebel doesn't go for the confident route. He's going to go for probably the respawns around the back, play safe for a second, slow it down. See what he can do here. He knows that there's a player just always constantly challenging outside, and I'm curious to see if that player is still the same one. It is Unfixed. He's going to be immediately challenged out on this kind of face check value, and the nades being rained up. They're not connecting like he wanted. He finally gets the kill towards Unfixed, but it's a bit too little too late. There are still other players causing trouble here. Blady has come out to join him, but there's a good turning effect there, so no more Scar H in Europe. That's what I said, buddy. So, first round of first map. Yes, this is the second round of the first map in the round of 16. So, there we go. Anyway, back into the game. Let's not waste too much time discussing rules. Let's have a look at what fnatic are up to, because at the moment they are just trailing in tickets, but overall they're still doing fairly well. Let's bear in mind fnatic have a 47 ticket advantage over eSuba. So when the US side drop below 47, that's when you can kind of start paying attention. But at the moment, it's a 2-to-1 hold in favor to fnatic. They'll be bringing back these tickets and starting to get that bleed against the opponent, who are fairly stuck here because, okay, B is going back either way, but still, these two players are in a bit of trouble because we do have finally some support coming in from above. We are seeing the push down from Drunks. They can't use that far back position anymore, and that's kind of the evolution of the game so far. But Reflex does go down. Drunks does have the access to the site, finally getting a little bit of a sight on those guns. He was running a bit vanilla before, and here comes the back and forth towards B. Big exchange going down now. It does get picked up by Spirit, who does take down, I think it was Unfixed actually there, and one other member on the site. So 2-to-1 hold now in favor to fnatic, but a bit of a change up there, a bit of a switch up, and this game is just scrappy. That's all I can say on this one. It's not been this kind of set play that we saw before. Maybe Fnatic struggling with some of the rule changes throughout this one. Maybe not feeling too comfortable just as of yet. But we'll see how that goes, because 53 tickets is getting quite low for eSuba now. If they slip below 47, they could be in real trouble here. And we are seeing Spirit going for the clear-up job towards that outer bombs flag site. Too much search and destroy, guys. It's killed me. But Spirit does come around, does pick up a kill on towards Unfix, so that's opened up C at least. And I think he's got a teammate ready to support across the hill. That is Lord, so anyone pushing out should get spotted up. Get a couple of shots through. Spirit should make light work of him close range. Just toying with them, as B is still up in the air, but should be switched over by eSuba. But 47 tickets has been reached, so any kill, anything else coming through will be the undoing of them. GG's are already said. So that's the first map going to Fnatic, but it was a close game. That was not as one-sided as a lot of people would have assumed. Obviously, Fnatic, this is probably one of their more favourable maps. It's one of their best maps. To my eyes, and obviously their win rate through the last season certainly reflects that. Let's see. But what are you guys saying in chat? It's all about the gun changes. Are you guys really that big a fan of the Scar H? Jeez. Is this all PC? Yes, this is all PC. Ironsight Scout, please. But yeah, I don't know what to make without the Scar H, because that was a big revolution coming through. I need to catch up on some of the rules, because I haven't. This is the first time casting Battlefield in a long time for me. And I haven't really been keeping up to date with the rule changes. But the Sky H had a big impact, but obviously that kind of switched up as well. So, first map does go to Fnatic. The second one will be Siege of Shanghai. So, interesting to see this in rotation. This is the, literally in the last season, we barely saw Shanghai, unless it was like the final map that people just didn't expect to play. But I don't know. Obviously, while we wait for these guys to play this one out, just warm themselves up, I want you guys to tell me what you think you would pick up in place of the Scar H within obviously the ESL allowed guns, because the Scar H pretty much was utilized as this kind of really powerful long range to mid range weapon. It handled itself well. What would you now pick up in its place? Let me know in chat, as obviously this is pretty much garbage time, so there's no point me casting it. And also, make sure you keep tweeting me, by the way, about which matchups you guys want to see, any team you want me to follow. Because I wanted to check in with Fnatic, see how they're doing with obviously Drunks on the side. It's been a big change for them since we first saw them. And I think just while they get into the second map, you can stare at me for a bit. I do apologise. What can I say? You can look at me drinking water. So yeah. I'm looking at you guys in chat to let me know what you would play with if you couldn't play with the Scar H. AK in close quarters maps. Of course, the AK is certainly plausible within maps like or Locker, as we just saw, but then I feel you're kind of restricting yourself. And if people notice, okay, Drunks is running with an AK, let's sit back and play passively, or let's sit back on these sides. Let's not challenge straight up, because you give away so much just kind of showing your hand like that. Famous. Actually, yeah, the Famous is kind of been picked up a lot. We saw it kind of edging into a lot of the play towards towards the end of the season. A lot of people questioning why it wasn't played as much as certain other guns, because it's certainly a powerful weapon and it's certainly got its viable place. I don't know, I'm kind of curious what you guys think. Shotgun. Yeah, shotgun's a great long range. Just get a nice little iron sight on there, or a nice little red dot. Just run around with that bad boy. Just waiting on the next map to load up. We're not live in the game, but I can drop you back into game. Boop. Boop. There you go. See, I never got, I know this is kind of personal now, there's no point in me talking about personal things, but I never got into the Famous as a gun. A lot of people stuck by it, really did enjoy it, but it was never something I kind of went, you know what, I really like the feel of that gun. It never got me. Yeah, see, I always preferred the Galil in CS. Sorry. I feel like I'm letting you guys down. Jason, what do you want? What do you want, Jason Kaplan? I'm just gonna sit here and wait. What did you ask? Because, like, you know, jeez. First map was won by Fnatic. While we load up, I'll wait for Jason to ask this question because eSuba will be on the US side. Let's change that around. So this will be interesting. Fnatic have the more advantageous spawn, obviously. Sniper rifles. Shut up, Jason Kaplan. You are the problem. And we're going on Shanghai, so you just be up on these roofs right now, just having a great time. That would be literally your job. Just Jason Kaplan, just chilling up here, being that guy that everyone hates, ignoring objectives, just being like, I'm just going to camp right here with a sniper rifle, like an asshole. No one likes that. I'm out of bounds. Anyway, let's get into the game, because the more ideal spawn, as I was saying, was with Fnatic. They can almost immediately pick up A and look for the convert towards that B side. They're sending Drunks and a good couple of members over, but straight away, Blady is coming through. He's going to look for the challenge towards A, but he's going to avoid that for now. He's going to have to go back through to support his teammates. Hey, he's going to be mowed down. Fnatic get a nice triple off the start there. Back-to-back kills. eSuba not quite finding their way towards that B site just yet. And AB hold, non-surprisingly, coming from Fnatic, and actually, they're looking for the C pickup as well. Winghaven is pushing so far forward. I mean, if you stick on board with him, because he played really well in that last map. Spot of a couple of players. Takes his time, picks up the kill. So Blady goes down, spots another. Gonna get that nade up and over the top. Oh, he gets picked up in the back eventually by a reflex. But this aggressive play has held back the opponents, but it's also left a little bit of a weak spot on that mid street. Previously, we saw them kind of being a little bit more, in the last game, should I say, on Shanghai, we saw them really controlling this with at least 3 or 4 players just on that street, keeping B and A in their hands. But at the moment, eSuba are causing trouble. They're pushing A, they're pushing B, and they could get a triple cap out of this. They've held on to C, they've picked up that B side. A, they don't really mind at the moment. They've got 2 players still close enough to cause trouble, but they're not committing fully. This is a beautiful spot from Blady there. Just able to peek up and over those nades, however, can cause trouble, but not connecting just yet. Down to 30 HP though, so he's going to have to back away. He's buying time, that's all he needs to do, and sadly, they weren't able to hold on to B while he was doing that brilliant work. Value has broken through and picked up the B site into his hands. They should be able to convert that, but it's all about A now. A could go either way. We are seeing Value holding on with support now. Nade's coming over. B should be theirs, but A's still up in the air, and we do have one player finally coming around, but we did see the fact that Spirit did hold on for quite some time, but we should be seeing an AB hold. But look at this respawn coming in for eSuba. They are right in the faces of Fnatic. Lords go straight towards the side, not messing around. They're going to pick this one up, and Fnatic get thrown back just towards C. They're not in the best spot at all. 2 players immediately challenging Fnatic. Ebel does go down, but Spirit will find Winghaven, and we're going to get this 2-to-1 hold in favor to Fnatic. This is not a strong hold. That C side was already being challenged out straight away. And this is a curious choice. They're going to go for C and B. Kind of interesting to see how they pull this one off. Yep. Spirit does get a little bit of a spray down from C towards that B site. Ebel coming through. B looks fairly vulnerable right now, and actually Fnatic have capitalized on that. They're not going to hold back in a situation like this. As Reflex going on the flank does pick up Winghaven en route. Manually, just in a real man fashion, just throwing a lovely medic handbag through the window and looking towards A. And at the moment, they need to kind of get maybe a bit of a stronger hold on either side. So, they've been constantly able to challenge, but they've never been able to certainly defend, I feel, is the kind of problem so far. They're kind of getting stuck in between. Let's see if eSuba can pull off something a little bit better now. B is going back and forth. No real movement from Reflex, but Lord's right in the thick of things, dropping up that nade, hoping to get a connection. He knows there's a player there. He can literally see the side of him. But besides, maybe going for the split around the side is going to help out a little bit more, but finally Drunks does go down. But look at the time they're buying here. This is brilliant play, and the scoreline is very, very close. Stunning shot there onto Winghaven, keeping this B site. Certainly going in their favor for now. Gets the fire, but doesn't get the triple, and the respawn should come in for Fnatic now. Is anyone else there to challenge this? Ebel's going to have to go pretty big. Drunks now coming forward. Drunks breaks through, and this looks like Fnatic are going to get that B site, and are going to get that 2-to-1 hold now. Sadly, my throat's kind of messed up right now. I'm still partly ill, so excuse me if you hear me kind of sipping away at drinks and stuff. I can't really do much about it. But at the moment, Value, certainly not ill at all. He's been picking up these kills perfectly. He's down on to like 11-3, so kind of want to stay on board with him. He's the top fragger so far from this game. 2-1 hold like this, he can certainly come into his own. He's going to make his scoreline a little bit better. Bench taken down by Reflex, but gets the revive in from Winghaven. And then Sod's Law, because I'm following him, nades now coming. So I don't really want to, you know, stick with these guys, but, you know, because I seem to get them dragged down to me. Whenever I spectate people, they just die. So 34 to 101, it's still close. So let's bear that in mind. The first time we watched this map, it was one-sided completely. Whoever got A and B held A and B the entire time. So this one a little bit closer. Value causing havoc in mid. Maybe is back in their hands, and that ticket bleed is going to start hurting eSuba this time. Spirit will be found. Oh, nice little double from Value. Just perfect play, and he's just such a dominant player in this sort of area. Watching the cross, watching the push. He now knows A is being picked up. He's going to be cautious about this one, though. Might actually slip out of his hand, so just about securing it. For now, nade now will follow through. Does connect at his feet, but fire back and forth. He knows there's still a player here, but how many players? Reflex will pick up the kill. I believe there was 2 players there. Yeah, Reflex and Spirit. fnatic swiftly trying to reply, but at the moment, they're going to be left with just this B site, and this can be easily challenged with A in the hands of the opponent. Drunk's not really securing the shots he should be. Those nades are coming in pretty thick and fast, trying to dodge around. New addition to this fnatic team, doing the important work over by B. And now BC hold left to fnatic, and this back spawn could cause some real trouble. Reflex is going to be coming around the long way. Could get his hands towards B, but straight away defensive Valutage just picks him up, drops him down. And 44 to 90. This is looking like a fnatic map for now, and this could be a 2-0, but we saw eSuba really stepping up their game in the previous map, and they really showed what they were made of, and I think they went in with a 47 ticket deficit, so they've still got a long way to go if they want to get fnatic off this big chunk of tickets that they're sitting on right now, but hopefully that will happen pretty damn soon, because at the moment they're struggling. C did get touched for a second, but 2 players firmly present in the form of Winghaven and Valutage. We are seeing a bit of an onslaught coming in from eSuba towards B, so looking for the pick up towards that mid street, not going to happen too easily for Blady. Now, just keeps catching glimpses of Drunks. He finally takes him down, and B's looking vulnerable, but they know there's a player there. I'm not sure who it is. Is it Winghaven? Oh, it's Unfixed. Unfixed still holding on, spamming out those nades. He's done enough to keep hold of this by himself, with Winghaven now finally respawning onto him. Sorry, that was Mort respawning onto him. Winghaven is still down. He respawned with Valutage, and not everyone can be Valu, is all I'm saying. One-man army is still going strong. I obviously spectate him and he goes down, but this 2-1 hold finally being challenged out towards C, but it has left A very vulnerable. Unfixed, well aware of that. And not much you can do when that is going down. So guys, stop spamming in chat, please. Thank you. Or, sadly, bans will happen. I don't want to do bans. Alright, we're going to behave now? Let's behave now. Chill. Alrighty, back in the game. Let's find out how many tickets are left with eSuba at the moment. It's bleeding away pretty heavily. They've finally got a 2-1 in their favor, but it seems like a matter of time. A is constantly being pressured. That was a big pickup from Ebel around the back. He picked up enough of them to shut them down. Mort is still going, however, but look at these nades. They're coming back in. They're holding this 2-1. They're going to work down these tickets. That is vitally important. As Value now is surrounded by the opponents, the eSuba blue comes flooding in towards the slightly ironic fnatic red and orange. And now, look at Unfixed doing just stunning stuff. Back-to-back kills going in for him. He's going to open up the A site. They're already going to be worried about B, however, as Ebel, Blady, and Lords have got their hands on it. But fnatic in a good spot to kind of rotate around either side, just pinch them in towards the street and the cross, but they don't expect the play around the side coming in. And actually, eSuba just pushing straight out. They're looking to get as many tickets away from fnatic as possible. And at the moment, they're only stuck with very few options. Any respawns, any sort of people coming around the side, anyone dying at the moment could cause them tickets, and that's the biggest problem here. And that's what's going to allow possible trip cap coming over towards fnatic, as Ebel is caught around the back. Only 5 tickets remaining. Down to 50 for fnatic. Not obviously a terrible scoreline, stronger than the first, but we know eSuba are talented and they can do something a little bit better than this. I feel it's been fnatic's game from the start. As good halves have said, 51 tickets left for fnatic this side. So eSuba cannot drop below that on the second half, but let's keep in mind who had the better spawns in that start of the game. So it's a little bit different, but yes, TDM for comp, no, it's domination. Sorry, it is a little bit back and forth. I don't understand competitive Battlefield. What is up? There are good people in chat who can kind of explain things to you. They're actually really, really awesome. And it is very fast-paced. For esports, there's generally like one sole objective that you work towards, whether it be search and destroy, blah, 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 blah. Or obviously a base race. Whatever it is, there's normally one set objective. In this, it's very fast-paced, and it's all about the tickets and claiming the sites. It's not the most easy thing to understand. Once you get your head around it, there's some phenomenal stuff that goes on. But anyway, I think, once again, we can't deny the fact that Valutaja, 25-7, that man just went absolutely huge. Big player for the Fnatic side. In the first half, or the first map, should I say, it was all about Mort, all about Unfix, doing some certain damage, but this time around, Valu was like, okay, I'm bored of you guys getting the attention. I want some of this. So he just kind of stepped up his game. So, brilliant stuff from him. And obviously on to the second half now. If you are just tuning in, you basically, if you're going with the on the half towards the advantage, I'm sorry about that, I am not all that well. If you go into the half with a ticket advantage, that gets transferred over towards the second half. So either you can look at it this way: the 51 tickets eSuba, Fnatic had on the first half could either be added to theirs, or you can just say when eSuba drop below 51 tickets, that's when they're done. I don't know. You know, when you see FPS, to me, you'd generally assume things like search and destroy or something along those lines. When it's not that, people can get fairly confused, and it's not the easiest thing in the world. So guys, let's get underway in this one. Obviously onto the Chinese side. This time it'll be eSuba, so with a slightly more preferable spawns, they should get set up quite nicely off of this. But the immediate challenge coming in from Valu, powering his way through, picks up Blady, but does get taken down eventually by Ebel. We are seeing a bit of a nice little bit of a position coming out from Reflex, spotting over towards Winghaven, and a bit of a cleanup happening this time as Fnatic could get their hands on A almost immediately. They picked up C as if it was nothing, and now A will be theirs. And now 2-2 split coming out from Fnatic can rope in the remains of the opponents. Drugs is under pressure, however. He has to back away, but that nade just landing into the face of Ebel follows it up onto Spirit, and there comes a revive. Stunning play from Drunks. New addition to the Fnatic lineup, certainly proving himself. And let's have a little look as to how this one goes down. Bit of an exchange on this B side. Both players clearly aware there's an opponent here. Unfixed, and I believe Blady and Ebel actually going to be pushing in now. Outnumbered. Fnatic could be in trouble on this side. Ebel does go down though. And now Lord's having to quickly come around, maybe looking towards B, maybe going to go straight for the rotate towards A, kind of negating the fact that C is certainly in the hands of Fnatic still. And Fnatic are not going to let that one go. So Fnatic picking up possible trip cap here. They can hold on towards the C side. It will be that tri-cap in their favor, and Drunks is the one-man army, certainly doing the damage. C is being challenged out, but Drunks just powers in. Does have a couple of players to help him out this time, and that will be staying in their hands. A is vulnerable, and is going to be exploited by eSuba, but look at that damage initially. That is unbelievable. It's 141 to 116. Fnatic flying out of the gates. They are not messing around, and let's keep in mind, eSuba don't have a lot of tickets to work with now. If they drop below 51 tickets, obviously the Chinese team, the red team, top right of your screen, they're out of this one very early on, in only the round of 16. So, no one wants to come against teams like this into the round of 16, but, you know, it's got to be done. So let's find out how they do now. Can they do anything to stop the Rot? Fnatic are looking for middle, and Unfixed is doing the damage, comes in towards the side, does pick up the kill towards Reflex, gets the revive, and they should be able to claim A off of this. But B is up in the air. Valu, a bit of a beast, now coming down towards that B side, looking maybe to get this one back in his hands. They have seen, oh, they've spot out two good players here. That's a nice pickup from him. He's going to spot Lords. You know, this is another, oh my word, that is a beautiful double on for Reflex, for Valu there onto Reflex. Goes for the third, gets the third. That's Ebel down. Literally, this man has pretty much opened up this site by himself. Love Battlefield, hate Battlefield, it doesn't matter. You have to respect plays like that coming out from Valu. Holding this 1-2. Assume they lost out on B, that'd be a 2-1 against them. 85 tickets now left for eSuba. It's looking like bad times. They're in trouble now. They're down at 83 with only 53 tickets. Really is what they can work with. They're in trouble, and now it's the final push for them, I feel, to make a solid hold out of this. They'll have the dribs and drab moments, but right now their push is being thwarted by the likes of Unfixed, who's just holding them in place. And we haven't even playing more pass than they had to. He ran back just in case, but with the likes of Valu and Unfixed picking them up on the cross, the real kills coming from the Winghavens, and when Unfixed goes a little bit more passive, more does the damage, and This just setup is stunning to watch. It really is. There's not much you can do against stuff like this. And this street is just being held for so long. 68 tickets, and they haven't made their way across the street. Finally, Spirit will pick one up. But still, is that going to be enough? Is there going to be any more players willing to challenge right now? He's going to be just taking a bit of a longer route. But straight away, there's the player. There's two players willing to challenge out right now. And there's no easy cross. There's no safe crossing for them. As Value now roaming around, getting the spots out, getting the tags in. Unfixed picking up the kills. 56 tickets. It's almost there. The pain can almost stop for eSuba. As at the moment, it's been a bit of a fnatic trouncing on this map, who are just being dominant throughout. And now Lord's kind of doing what he can towards C, but you can almost feel it's too little too late, as 52 tickets are left. And well, it's pretty much game 49. And there we go. Value Taja, I've got to give this guy credit. He's been playing out of his skin this game. Had a slow start. GG well played, as said. But on this map especially, what a phenomenal display from a guy who... The sad thing is, I was watching, obviously, the finals of last season, and he didn't play very well. He didn't have that kind of impact he usually does, and it does upset me to see a LAN veteran kind of struggling on occasion. But it's good to see him back in form, and obviously we will be kind of looking forward to the next couple of games. I need to see who's going through in the brackets at the moment to find out who we should be watching next. Obviously, if you guys keep tweeting me at They Call Me Pansy, I can find out who you guys want to watch as well. So make sure you do that during the break, because we'll be back after a very short commercial. And, you know, I'll do Naval Strike, because Naval Strike looks awesome. So, guys, we'll be back in a second. Fnatic will be advancing through to the quarterfinals, and we need to find out who will be joining them there.